We are introduced to the song by the joyful strumming of 12-string guitars. They sound like yesterday, like ABBA in their first years. Then, a small pause where Agneta and Frida sing harmonies as complex as beautiful, where falsettos are included. Suddenly, the guitars do hard, ominous strummings. A synthesizer-sampled percussion is now the main background, cold and cyclic, over which Frida will sing her reflection. In the year before this production, ABBA had released The Winner Takes It All, and everybody thought that it was an autobiographic work where the sadness of Agneta and Björn's divorce was depicted. That wasn't true, and the two protagonists of that breakup had to declare that there had not been winners or losers in their divorce. Nevertheless, a year later, everybody would miss the fact that When All Is Said and Done was, indeed, an autobiographical song, whose lyrics, written by Björn, portray the divorce of his friend Benny, to be sung by Frida. I remember that I was a bit cautious because of the lyrics, says Björn. Frida and Benny had just got divorced, and that's what the song dealt with, more or less. But I guess Frida must have okayed it. Well, Frida did. All my sadness was captured in that song, she says, and today it remains one of her favorites. One of the main reasons to why the public may have lost the auto-reference in the lyrics is that When All Is Said and Done was not released as a single. What is more, to many these songs is the single that never was, the hit that ABBA could have achieved in 1982 had it been chosen as the second single of The Visitors, instead of Head Over Heels. Today, When All Is Said and Done is an album track, and it is not hard to speculate about its potential as a single if we bear in mind its powerful rhythm and arrangements, much in tune with the sound of the 80s, and its success in the US Billboard Pop Singles chart, reaching number 27 with Should I Laugh or Cry on its flip side. It is very probable that plans to release it as a single could have existed. A promotional film was filmed to promote the English and Spanish versions. By the time the Spanish version was recorded, Frida had changed dramatically her hairdo. In the Spanish video, we can see mixed shots of Frida showing her new look, alternating with a long-haired Frida. The mood in the lyrics is the same as that in The Winner Takes It All's lyrics, a resigned reflection about the life and end of a relationship. Nevertheless, we must admit, getting close to heresy, that the lyrics for When All Is Said and Done are somewhat better than the Agneta's classic. It starts with a toast. In spite of all the pain, this story has to be sealed with joy and pay a bill which is not necessarily that of the restaurant. Thanks are given for the generous love, for the fun, and each part of the couple fly in its own direction. The ideal way to end up a romance? Shaking hands as adults and thank each other for the nice moments without thinking in all the pain? Regardless of all the autumn chill, the future looks positive. Both of them becomes birds of passage, and then fly instinctively. They strive for the sky with no taste for humble pie. There are very curious references to age, to the passing of time, and its consequences to personal development. Not too old for sex, nothing left untried, standing calmly at the crossroads when everything has been done. Björn and Frida were reaching their middle 30s. Were they tired? Did they think that everything had already been done? In the last of the three parts of the song, Frida addresses to us in her reflections, shares them with us as if it were a talk in a cafe. It is so strange when you're down and lying on the floor, how your eyes shake your head, get up and ask for more. Evidently, Frida's attitude in the promotional film, by the seaside, head straight, looking at the horizon, reflected that mood. The recording sessions had been long and arduous. The song underwent several changes. A violin line was added, then removed. The song had a fourth part sung by Frida, very similar to the first one, enlarging the total time to more than 4 minutes. It was removed as well. It was recorded in a 24-track analog machine. Then, it was transferred to a 32-track tape to match the rest of the songs of the new album in terms of sound. They all will be transferred again to analog tapes with the same purpose. Recently, Benny commented that, regardless of being proud of the song, its electropop arrangements seemed quite stiff to him, not the best representation that ABBA could have done. Benny is pretty right, if truth must be said. The rhythmic synthesized background does it very stiff. There were new samples already, easier to program than the Yamaha GX1, but Benny still preferred it. And Frida sings tremolo all through the song, making her sound too correct. Indeed, her voice is processed in the third part to make her sound as a robot. To say that she sounds too correct may be nevertheless a result of misinterpreting her bravery to sing this story. Frida sounds firm, self-controlled, like trying to be immune to pain. When All Is Said and Done has brilliant vocal arrangements. Agneda's high harmonies bring sparkles that make this story a little less sad. In order to pursue the same goal, Benny plays childlike counter melodies in his synthesizer in the second part. The song is made of 3 identical parts that don't make us bored, for each repetition is different. The richest one, in terms of arrangements, is the second, in contrast to the first one, almost a cappella, and the third one, a mix of both arrangements, and introduced by a synthesizer blast. Björn used to say that when he wrote lyrics, he listened first to the melody in order to get the inspiration. It's very probable that he listened all his friend's sadness in Benny's melody. Every melody line in When All Is Said and Done goes downwards. For example, another downward melody is the third melody line first goes upwards, but then downwards again. Benny Andersson took revenge many years later when he stripped the song of its electropop arrangements and turned it into a ballad, to perform it side by side with Kylie Minogue, and to turn When All Is Said and Done into the song from the musical Mamma Mia, whose version is the most different to ABBA's originals. Differences with No Hay A Quien Culpar. In the intro, Benny's synthesizer shows far more volume than in this English version. Yamaha GX1's sound are more loud all through the song. The robot-like treatment to Frida's voice in the third part is much softer. There, her voice sounds fairly metallic. Agnieszka's harmonies are somewhat hidden in the mix.